Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yeah, today we have three rather interesting. Oh, there's always interesting. I mean, isn't it just all interesting? I mean, there's just so much great stuff out there, and I've winnowed it all out for you mostly, so I only keep the good stuff, honestly. Really? I mean, I have just boatloads of good stuff to talk about. It's unbelievable. I go through these things and I keep saying to myself, I've heard this before, but when was the last time I listened to it? Because, there's just not enough time in the universe to listen to all of this stuff all the time. And the new stuff and other things. And fortunately, there are a lot of reissues that I've already heard, so I can just spot check them. But wow. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, and I know that you sympathize with that because you've got tons of stuff of your own. I'm just so happy that I was able to get all the new Overflow room alphabetized and organized so that we can do this series. And now that we're in the ends, moving alphabetically in reverse, we begin with Nikisch. Arthur Nikisch. Oh, the great one, Arthur Nikisch, except that this disc has an upside-down tray card. All right, this is like all of his recordings. I think it is. He's conducting the London Symphony Orchestra and the Berlin Philharmonic from 1913 to 1921. These are acoustic recordings, newly remastered on Symposium Records. So what have we got here? Here's the question. Oh, my goodness. Well, he's really, really famous for doing Beethoven's Fifth, and that's on here. Yes, the Beethoven Fifth, the famous Nikisch Beethoven Fifth. And oh, there we go. It's really very nice that they put all these things with the master numbers and all of that stuff on the back here, and it just confuses me, frankly. I don't really care. I just want to know what the work is. So we've got the Egmont Overture and the Oberon Overture. So it's Beethoven and Weber. Hungarian Rhapsody. Let's see. Beethoven's Fifth. Then you've got more Oberon overtures and the Freischütz Overture, the Marriage of Figaro, and Hungarian Rhapsody again, and Hungarian Rhapsody over and over and over, and the Roman Carnival Overture. So that's what's on here, and exactly how they did it. I'm trying to remember. They describe how they did it, and this is everything of him. He included the Liszt F minor Hungarian Rhapsody, but substantially faster reading. Oh, okay, yes, they are repeated. So that's it. He was quite the guy. He premiered like Bruckner's Seventh, and he was very, very famous. He was the teacher of Adrian Bolt, actually, who by all accounts sounds completely different from Nikisch, which is fine. You're not supposed to just imitate. But he was a great conductor, and this is everything we have of him from the acoustic era, I believe. Okay, I hang on to it for its historical value. The sound is barely listenable. Really, there's very little you can do about it, but that's okay. Then we've got Per Norgard. Now, Norgard is a Danish composer. Thanks not least to his orchestral works, Per Norgard has made an impact as the leading Danish composer of his time. This CD presents 3 milestones. These are on Da Capo. Starting with his breakthrough work, Voyage into the Golden Screen from 1968. He was born in 1932. And new perceptions and a new awareness of the world with his music. This is evident in Dream Play, which demonstrates the loving aspects of humanity, and the violin concerto Borderlines, in whose world disaster looms. Well, you can decide for yourself. He's kind of an avant-gardist. His music is quite difficult, and I think quite interesting, actually. There's some fascinating stuff here. So this is a very good disc to begin with, by the way. It really is, because you've got works from 1968, 75, and 2002. So you can hear how his style has evolved, and they're not. You don't have to when composers do symphonies. There's always so much agita associated with them, but he did good symphonies, and here's a bunch of them. Symphonies 4 and 5 with Leif Segerstam and the Danish National Radio. This one was Rebecca Hirsch, violin, the Copenhagen Philharmonic under Giordano Bellincampi. So that's this, but this is Segerstam and the Danish National Radio. And these are big tough, challenging pieces. And they do. He's very interested in manipulating things like your sense of time and space and whatnot, and texture and all of that fun stuff. So you kind of know what to expect. Symphony number 3, which is 44 minutes and 2 movements, and the premiere recording of his Concerto in Due Tempi. It's his piano concerto with pair solo piano and the usual people. There's a choir in the 3rd symphony. And here we have, the Symphony Austera and Symphony number 2. So same folks, more of this stuff. There's a whole series of these things. And so if you want to get into him, give him a shot. He's a talented guy. I don't like everything that he did. I think I reviewed recently his 8th Symphony or something. I found it rather dry. But he's imaginative most of the time. He really is. And he's got ideas, and he has the technique to realize them. And you won't go away humming it, probably, but you may be intrigued and satisfied. Now that we've done Norgard, right? Not Nordgren, Norgard. All the Nors. They all live up in the north. The Nors of the north. Did you notice that? If you live in the north, your last name begins with an N-O-R, Nor. Coincidence. Nielsen, but not Carl. Ludolph. Yes, the other Nielsen. Ludolph was an exact contemporary of Carl. He lived from 1976 to 1939, and he wrote lovely romantic music. He was not anything like as questing a soul as Nielsen was, but his music is enjoyable. I have a pile of it upstairs, but down here we have his Symphony number 2, the Symphony of Joy. Isn't that nice? It was nice people do joy once in a while. It's a little bit long for its material, I would say, but still, it gets the job done. His Berceuse for violin and strings, and his Lyrisk Nocturne, his lyrical nocturne, Summer Evening at Nummendegab, whatever that is. And we have Ole Schmidt. Yeah, Ole Schmidt with the Radio Symphony Orchestra of Frankfurt on CPO. Ludolph is a guy who's worth getting to know. There's a bunch of his stuff on Da Capo as well. And if you like Carl Nielsen, you'll have no problem with Ludolph, even though he doesn't sound anything like him. I mean, he's just a decent, romantic style composer. And you'll enjoy this. I did anyway. That's why I hung on to it. So there you have it, my friends. We've got Nikisch and Norgard and Ludolph Nielsen, and that means that next we get to do Carl Nielsen. So that's what's coming up. Yay! Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.